Press Uncuffed grew out of a class I was teaching where I gave each student a journalist who was in prison for doing journalism in their country. And they had to figure out how to do a portrait about them.
I decided to take Dana Priest's class because the environment around press freedom, especially media censorship, was rather intense and at times hostile, especially to journalists. And I wanted to advocate for those who could not, especially those who were unfortunately arrested or put in jail.
During the class, they decided they wanted to do more than just write about them. They thought, how can we help these people get out of prison? So my students created this organization.
Press Uncuffed was a student-led organization that focused primarily on the importance of press freedom. They'd be able to report and be able to cover news without fear of being censored and without fear of being imprisoned, regardless of who they are, regardless of where they're from, and regardless of what they're covering.
And we chose 9 out of about 100 reporters who were in prison all over the world, and we put their names on these bracelets. Every time you looked at your bracelet, you would be reminded of the fact that someone was in jail just for doing journalism. And in the end, Press Uncuffed raised about $100,000 that we donated to the Committee to Protect Journalists. As a result of Press Uncuffed, which was one of many organizations advocating for the release of these journalists, there were 4 out of the 9 journalists who were released before they thought they would have been released. One of the most memorable impacts that we had was on my colleague at the Washington Post, Jason Razian. He was our correspondent in Tehran until they arrested him. We put his name on one of the bracelets, and we gave a set of them to his wife and mother. When they visited him, they were wearing the bracelets, and when he saw his mom and his wife wearing these bracelets with his name on it, was the very first time that he realized that the world was paying attention to his imprisonment, that it gave him the strength to survive in isolation.